Hello, I'm ClumsyAlien, and welcome to my first Timeless and Classics video. In this video, I want to give both a perspective to new players of what Timeless and Classics is, as you can see we're a gun mod, and to some of the more veteran players who may already play with the mod. I want to point out a few features that you may not actually be well accustomed to, or you still may not fully understand, and I want to just create a little overview video and showcase these really cool features, because I honestly love them. Probably because I built them. Okay. Let's move on. And starting off with the gun in my hand is the M16A4, more specifically its burst fire feature. In TAC, or Timeless and Classics 0.2.1, we added the burst fire feature. The burst fire feature can be found on only a few guns. Not every gun has burst fire. And for example, I have the Chris Vector and the M16A4 to show you guys as examples. And in short, when you click the left mouse button and you're on the burst fire mode, you will fire 3 bullets, or whatever your burst actually entails. Hint, hint, the Vector is a little special. When you're firing in burst fire, all you have to do is click your left mouse button, and if you do spam it, that's actually showing off a cool little feature there right now. Yes, there is ricochet in Timeless and Classics, and that must be one hell of a perfect angle, actually. I'm not used to ricochet myself, and yeah, that's super cool. Anyway, burst fire can actually be customized via the tac-common config in your configuration in your config folder for Minecraft, and you can actually change to a more realistic burst fire mechanism where you have to hold down on your mouse button in order to complete a full burst. Now, the reason why I alluded to the Chris Vector and wanted to show off this gun is because its burst fire is a little bit special. The Chris Vector actually fires 2 bullets per burst, not 3, 2, and this is in lieu of a single fire option. See that? This allows you to deal pretty much double damage in just a single bullet, while still having high accuracy and extremely low recoil. There is still a decent delay per shot, however, this still is significantly higher DPS than just single fire, while still having very high accuracy and once again very high controllability, even though it's still an SMG. Alright, moving ahead, I want to talk about variable zoom. Variable zoom was introduced on 2 scopes that were added in Timeless and Classics 0.2.1, those being the Vortex LPVO and the Alcan Spectre. To those that may have played an older version of Timeless and Classics, the LPVO model got completely redone. This is it right here, and it also contains this feature, and if you import, let's say, a world that had this scope before, it would be upgraded to this scope along with the feature. Alright, now to actually use variable zoom, obviously you have to ADS with your gun, aim down sights, and to actually cycle between all of the various zoom magnification levels, all you have to do is press V. By default, the V key is what you would have to press in order to cycle between all the different modes, and as you can actually see here, the Vortex LPVO has 3 levels. This here is the 1x. This is the closest range, pretty close to a red dot. However, it is still an LPVO. It's still a scope, so it's not precisely a 1x. I'm uncertain if you guys can see the distortion. If you press V again from 1x, you will go to the furthest magnification. I would consider this about 6x. And there's also an in-between, which, you know, a bit of magnification, but it's also a bit pulled back, so you're not completely, what I like to call a toilet paper tubing, all the way up to 6x. And 1x, once again, you know, close range, sort of like a red dot. Moving along, we also have the Alcan Spectre, which has the same variable zoom functionality. Every time you press your V key, it will cycle between its 2 only modes. The Alcan Spectre has a 1x mode, pretty similar to the Vortex LPVO, however with even less distortion. I'm uncertain if you guys can tell. And when I press V again, I will go all the way up to about 4x. Still, furthest magnification allows you to pop targets from afar, and I'm showing these 2 off on some of my favorite guns in Timeless and Classics, the HK 416A5 and the AR-15 right here. So let's go to 1x and let's tap the guys close. That guy got some good armor. Alright, to try to keep this video short, I'm going to keep this to our last topic for this video. Don't worry, there's going to be many more videos coming out as I get a bit more accustomed to this whole recording thing. And now I want to show off a more complex feature that actually existed before the latest update of Thomas & Classics and was introduced in just Thomas & Classics 0.2. However, many people don't understand how this feature works, and it's very likely to be expanded more in not just the base mod, but add-ons that you may see added to Thomas & Classics. I recommend joining the Thomas & Classics Discord to hear a bit more about the add-on development and you can see, a bunch of developers building add-ons and progress through their own add-ons, along with inbuilt add-ons such as the Titanfall add-on. I highly suggest you guys check out some of the progress done there. Alright, moving along, I wanted to show off first the pistol attachments. Here we can see the STI 2011 equipped with a Trijicon RMR mini scope, along with a Glock 18 with both a miniscope and a pistol suppressor, a micro hollow, along with the pistol suppressor. Now, the new attachment system that allows this to happen is called attachment types. Attachment types will have some sort of text, such as miniscope and pistol barrel, listed on the attachment, and when you hover over the gun, it will also have purple text telling you exactly what its attachment slots support. Scope slot only accepts miniscope, barrel slot only accepts pistol barrel. So, in the future, if at least in Thomas & Classics there will be any custom attachment types, they will have this purple text on both the actual weapons that support those custom attachments and the custom attachments themselves, including some information on what guns they can apply to. So for the Glock 18, we have the pistol only suppressor along with this sort of hollow sight mounted on. I'm going to use the STI 2011 a bit, semi-auto. Most of these guns are 9mm. And yeah, just custom attachment types allowing you to still use those really small scopes instead of having some kind of mounting mechanism for mounting an absolutely ginormous sniper scope. And speaking of sniper scope, let's go on to the old rifle class. So these two, the pistols and the old rifles, are the only weapons that support custom enchantments or more specialized enchantments. And here in my hands is the M1 Garand equipped with an old fork scope. As you can see here, the type is old scope, and if I hover on the M1 Garand itself, scope slot only accepts old scope. So the M1 Garand is a semi-auto high-power rifle, and also in my hand is the Kar98K, a bolt-action rifle from World War II, mounted with the old 8x scope. And super quick, while I'm on this screen, to actually get to the attachment screen, the default key is Z, and all you have to do is press Z while holding a weapon. And if you want to go into this view showing off the gun model or whatever attachments you've also put on your gun, all you have to do is press H. These are buttons by default, and you can customize them to whatever you want in the standard control screen from Minecraft. So let's play around with our Kar98K, I believe. Yep, that should be a one-shot on that zombie, and I think diamond armor. Still a one-shot if you get a headshot. This guy's going to be a bit tanky, so I'm going to use the M1 Garand semi-auto while still dealing pretty high damage. Man, Prot 4 Netherite still can eat a lot. I think this zombie also has a custom amount of health, keeping him just a bit, how I'm going to say, a bit healthier.